Alright, so hey guys, I just wanted to do something a little different. This isn't going to be anything or anything like that, but in my journey to wanting to do different things with YouTube and that, and like just expand my horizons on what the channel can do, I was just wanting to do something different with like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And so I think a problem that I have is that big imagination, little skill. Right, like low skill. I'm not very skilled at things, but like I want to do big things, and it just kind of like takes time to figure stuff out. And so one thing that recently was I wanted to do something different with a Yu-Gi-Oh series, right? Where I wanted to use the pictures of the cards. So like, I want to say, let's say I've got Ponix here, right? But the issue that I was having with this background, like it's a pretty complicated background, right? And so old me would just do the standard like magic wand. Whoops, that's a magnifying glass. Nice. Because like I just want to preface this by saying I'm not a YouTube, Photoshop or editing master. Like if you watch my videos, they're pretty low effort. Just because time, it's very rare that I get a chance to sit down and just mess with stuff. A lot of times I watch YouTube videos at night and just hope that I remember what I saw. And so there's probably going to be easier ways than what I'm about to show you. I think there probably is, because I'm not very good at stuff. But so far, this one here has, I think, provided the best result, in air quotes, for what I need. And so, like, old me would have, say, just gone like this and just started, like, deleting like this. But as you can see, this kind of, like, painstaking and just like, oh, man, what am I going to cut off? And at some point, you never know if it's going to, like, just take Ponix's wing out of it, right? And so this one here, it doesn't seem too bad, but this is still just taking too long, right? And so, and then I Google it and I try and do the things that people say, because I'm assuming other people are just better than me at stuff like this, right? And I find that the AI like struggles. Like if I just hit remove background down here, which is like the AI in Photoshop trying to do it for you. Honestly, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all, to be honest. But I was dealing with, what I was dealing with at the time was this. It was the Tempai monsters. So Fadra, Pydra, whatever. So if I go remove background here, see how I have like a hard time telling what background is? The Pydra one was actually the worst. But see how I have like a hard time telling like what the background is. It takes away some of the issue, get rid of some of all the hair and stuff. And you're still left with so much actual background that you don't want. Right, this one here is not too bad. Right, but I did, and then like there was like this whole thing with like thresholds where you go to adjustments and go like threshold. You want what you want to be black, right? Like so, as you can see, it goes to white. You can turn it all black, but you want, so let's say I want the Ponix. So I'd want the Ponix completely black, apparently. So let's just say like that, I guess. And then yeah, there's like a whole process with like masking and stuff like that. And so this one here, which is something I couldn't even remember how to do, so I had to like follow a tutorial. And ideally, I don't want to be following tutorials, right? Like I just want to be able to learn something, figure it out, and go with it, right? And so something that I ran into was this, the background eraser tool, right? And as you can see, I don't know any of the shortcuts to Photoshop at all, right? So this is something that I've picked up on over the last like day, and especially with this thing, right? It helped a lot, I feel. And so like you just start taking out the background, right? Like you can use the eraser if you want to, but I just find that the eraser is just a bit harsher, right? So I think what the background eraser is trying to do is I think it's trying to look out for black lines, right? It's trying to look out for solid black lines and not take too much of the color. And so I am using a mouse and keyboard, right? I'm using a mouse and keyboard. And as you can see, like you can be pretty rough with it. I think this is why I like it. Like I'm pretty impatient as a person. Like I feel like that we're in 2024, this stuff should be easy, right? Like that's just kind of what I believe. And I feel like sometimes when I Google stuff, it's like it still feels like needlessly hard, right? And so as you can see, that's pretty much Ponix's outline. Get rid of some in here, right? Like once again, using a mouse, I'm not too patient with anything. I'm not too like specific with anything, like it's all pretty like above board. And then if you want to, from this point, what I did was just kind of like grab this tool. This is a bit more prevalent in this because there's so much more like clear space. Like as you see, Ponic's quite small, and then Fadra here is taking up most of the picture. So this one here didn't actually happen a whole lot, right? And then so I just do like small strands, like this here, like one long click, but do a lot of small clicks realistically. So you could Control Z, you can always come back, right? And so, you know, just take out all the background and stuff that you don't want anymore. Once again, I do want to say, not a pro, nothing like that at all, as you can see, because like I said, there's probably a way better way to do what I'm about to show you. But like I said, I just could not find a way to deal with backgrounds like this, like not at all. And even from this point, like I probably will try and use that AI thing more to like cut down on the time, right? Because like I said, with what I'm about to show you anyway, it looks like I could probably fix it, right? And so yeah, just quickly just do this because I'll probably use Aponics anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to do like a new series with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just didn't want the backgrounds anymore, right? Because I do know the AI generated stuff that you can do on this with backgrounds is actually pretty good, like if you want to extend and stuff. So because extending backgrounds requires you to draw, and I can't draw because I also, once again, am using a mouse. So as you can see, like it's pretty choppy. So from this point, what I would do is just add another layer, move this to the top, and just fill in the black. Because as you can see, this is everything that I've missed. So this is everything that I've missed. You can just click. So make sure you click. Oh wait, hang on, go back. Make sure you click on that layer because you don't want to get rid of the black. Right there we go. Looks better. Because now you've got all the stuff that you've missed, right? And then you can go back to your eraser and just erase out like the big parts, right? Like just the stuff like this that you've missed. And there's a couple ways you can do this. Once again, depending on, like, I don't think my need for this is going to be too great, right? As in like how like neat it needs to be, because I think that whatever I end up doing with it will kind of just fix itself with like a nice complicated background, right? Whoops. Like if you do think you mess up too much, Control Z is the way to go. But as you can see, once again, still not being too kind of crazy on it, right? But yeah, like that's fine, right? But still pretty choppy, not very great. But there's this thing that I found. It's like a history brush. It's literally called history brush tool, and no one spoke about this in the stuff that I was looking up, right? So you click on this. I'll make it a little bit bigger because Ponix is bigger, right? And then it just remembers what you did. So now if I want that white line on the outside, I can keep that white line, right? And then you just go back over the stuff that you've cut out, right? And you can be real smooth with it too, which like I feel like with the brush, like, or with the eraser, you have a hard time being smooth because it always just leaves like just circles everywhere, you know. And then, like I said, depending on how much you want to keep is how much you want to keep. Like if you want to keep the yellow aura, whatever like that. Like I don't really know what I want to keep yet on it because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, right? But like because like even the background eraser leaves these weird white circles everywhere, and you can just kind of brush your way back in. It all looks really smooth. It looks really nice. It just remembers what you were doing, right? And then so because the only other way that I found that you could do like, because then like I said, depending on how finicky you want to be with your like that there was too much, right? So you just come back out and do it again, just Control Z. But even then, who cares, right? Like you just leave it because I'll show you something in a sec, right? And then you just kind of like follow your lines, follow the lines, because normally the background tool won't like completely get rid of lines, and so it will require a bit of touching up at the end, right? But it's still like you've cut out the background, like a decently complicated background, without having to exhaust too many resources. Like what time is it now? We're 9 minutes in and I spent most of it talking, right, and showing you stuff. So like this, and then from this point, depending on how finicky you want to be, if you really care, man, I get down to like pixel level, right, and then just start moving around it and just cutting out, because you can see the pixel separation between the red and the white. If you want to keep the white and get rid of the red, right, you can do that. You just tap as well, just little taps. So like I said, this is geared to it, and then this is, see that I just like got too far. Oh look, you just bring it back. Look, I think the only reason why I'm making this is because I did so much Googling and so many videos watching it, and people just were like, oh, just use AI to do it and just use the lasso tool. Like the lasso tool would take forever to get around the nooks and crannies of this and actually like understand what's going on, I feel. Because when I try it, it just like cuts out half of what I want to keep. Right, and I feel like I have just this trouble with like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff because of how complex the backgrounds are. And I think that's just a Yu-Gi-Oh problem, just being like that. I think Magic the Gathering probably the same. Like see how like it's weirdly like circular the whole time. Yeah, you know, you can just get rid of all this. Just yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of like what I was thinking. Was a pretty good idea, and I was kind of annoyed that no one brought anything up, because like you can go in like that, cut it out, go back in with this, and just reapply what you want to keep, you know what I mean? And I think that's pretty neat. I'm just annoyed that no one brought up this kind of style, because like realistically I don't think it takes that long. Even the Fadra from before, which I'll go back to in a sec, took me like, and like I said, if you know shortcuts and hotkeys and stuff, like this will be faster, because I just don't know like what is the eraser? The eraser is E. It might be Control E. I don't know. I click button and button does the work, right? Like that's kind of how I work, and that's why my editing skills kind of suck, because I feel like if I did know shortcuts and stuff and was just a little bit more switched on with what a program can do for me, then maybe I'd have a better time with editing and could do more. But at the same time, I work like 2 jobs now, so you just kind of do what you do, right? I think, is that cut out? Like, who knows? Like, what you do is just go back over it. Look at that, it was cut out. You just go back over it, and now you've got your little yellow shindig thing back, you know? And like I said, I don't really want these colors, all right? Like, this is kind of lame. Like the white's not too bad, because depending on how you do it too, like I think you can probably smooth this out with a stroke line, which I'll test out in a second actually to see if it works very well. Because if you see my thumbnails, strokes are what I do on like pretty much every image, because I feel like it separates from the background nicely, right? But sometimes it doesn't work because sometimes it doesn't work just because I don't know why. Sometimes it just looks all bumpy. There are some PNGs and GIFs and stuff that I've used in the past, or that I've wanted to use in the past, but just didn't, because they just looked like, when I put a stroke line on it, they just look terrible. A lot of it's people's artwork. You find it's like when you go to like DeviantArt and pick up some of their stuff, because their stuff always looks really cool, but you got to use it or whatever, and you want to put a stroke line on it, it's just like really like choppy looking, and I just don't do it. So that's roughly like pretty good, I think, right? Like I didn't miss anything. I missed over here, but like that's fine, right? Like we'll clean that up real quick. We'll just like, because like, you know, I'm getting a little bit better with the mouse now, because I've probably been doing this for the last like hour now. So as you can see, just a little bit of that. Come down. It doesn't even matter if you overshoot it, because you just come back to this brush and just get it all in. It's like whatever, right? So like I said, you can be as finicky as you want to be, depending on how finicky you need to be. And like this is, I don't think this is too bad. I would touch this up a bit more, but I am just doing a video. Come here, delete this, delete layer 2, yep, and then like that's your PNG, right? We'll actually bring that layer back real quick, because if I double click on it and go to stroke, we'll just see if it works. Outside, yeah, so as you can see, there's these weird white dots. I think it's just connected to the stuff that you've missed. Go back to the stroke real quick, turn this down to like, what, 6 pixels, 4 pixels, 2, level out at 2. Yeah, you know, it's like, nah, it's pretty crap. I probably wouldn't do a stroke line. I probably wouldn't do the stroke line on that. I just like do whatever it needed to, or already had on it, which is like just what the drawers already did. But yeah, like that's just a quick thing that I saw where I feel like, you know, it just did what I wanted it to do, and no one brought up how. And so like, for instance, this is like the PNG of Fadra, like this one here with this one here was this, right, which is pretty complicated. And as you can see, like that's not too bad. I feel like you can really look at that. And if I put on a black layer, if I put on a, whoops, go down. If I put on like a black layer, like that's not too bad. Like I did spend more time. I spent about 15-20 minutes on it, like actually like not talking to myself and just like watching TV or whatever. Like you see a couple like weird little spots like in here and stuff like that, but once this goes away and you do something with it, I feel like that's not too bad. Like it's better than whatever the things online told me to do, because I just couldn't get it to work. But anyway, that's that. I hope that helps. If you have anything to say in the comments, let me know, because if there's an easier way to do it, I like easier ways, but right now this is the one way that I found where it doesn't take me a terribly long time and I'm getting like a product that I can actually kind of work with, rather than having to struggle with just losing half the image and still keeping so much of the background, you know. So anyway, thanks for watching and take it easy.